Well, I am back. Long time no see. I know I have inadvertently missed 2 whole weeks of a diet update, and I know you are going to be crying like, where has she been? I'd love to say I disappeared for like fun reasons. Work did get busy. We were just launching 8 weeks of the Strong Girl Gang. So I have been very busy setting up over 20 new clients into my world, which is absolutely awesome. And I've also had some new one-to-one clients start up, which is just beyond gorgeous. But also, I guess this is the bit that isn't quite so fun to talk about, because I'm in this stage of a fat loss phase where I had my diet break, I've come back into it, and nothing much has really happened. And like, this is the bit that I see you guys freak out about time and time again. Like, the scales are not moving. Visually, I don't look any different. It can all start to feel really freaking negative and really like, is there any point? But I guess this is the bit that actually needs more talking about, because this is the bit where I personally have to work a lot harder to stay consistent and to keep ticking the boxes. And when you dress up like a fat loss phase, or when you see like somebody's before and after, it's really easy to think like, oh my God, they just did this. Like, oh yeah, 8 weeks between the 2 photos. Like, okay, cool. When you're living it and you're like, it's a lot of repeat meals. It's a lot of doing the same boring walks. It's a lot of sweating doing cardio and then drying your hair with the hairdryer just to try and eke out another day between hair washes. That's the reality. And this is the bit people don't like, because it is deathly boring. And to anybody that can romanticize the shit out of this, I high five you. And you know, I'm somebody that eats great food and actually loves my deficit food. Like, to me, that bit is not a chore. But I can't lie, days have been a repeat of get up, coffee, gym, come back, cardio, shower, start work, you know, talk to my clients, have lunch, go for a walk, do some admin, go for a walk, finish work, have a shower. And I guess that's what some people would tell me to document, but I am horrendous at taking you guys along with me for the ride. We are this close to booking the holiday. So part of the reason when I went back into fat loss was to continue Vanity Project 2.0 as a little bit of a lead up to a girls' trip. The trip itself has moved back a week, which does mean I theoretically have an extra week. I think I've now got 5 weeks maximum that I am going to be dieting for. So right now, nothing has changed since I've come back into the fat loss space. Like, after my diet break, steps are still at a minimum of 12,000. Cardio is 120 minutes a week. So I do 4 30-minute sessions. I did get an extra cardio in last week because I also went for another 5K run. I did the Gymshark Run Club in Manchester and got a way faster time, which is awesome. I kept up with the coach who was leading the run, Poppy, she's so speedy. Like, she's incredible. She's a speed demon. So for her, it was a slow run. For me, it was pushy, and we even did a sprint finish. And do you know what? Because I'm proud, I'm going to post my split here. I was actually really freaking impressed with this. Now, for full transparency, I did hit pause every time we stopped to do like a little group catch up. So it's not the total elapsed time, but it is my total running time. So for me, that counts as an absolute assessment of where my 5K is at. And I felt really good for it. Like, it was hard, but I was fine. And bear in mind, it was just the 2 of us at the front. So I was actually talking quite a lot. And normally I'm a do not talk to me when I'm doing cardio, because I sound like an asthmatic whale and like, it's not going to end well for us. So extra cardio happened last week, which is fab. Wine consumption was a little bit higher than intended at the weekend. And again, I saw a post on social media of a coach being like, if you as a coach keep like falling off your own diet, you're setting a bad example. I'm like, I kind of disagree. Like, I'm not out here binging every weekend, and I'm not encouraging my clients to do the same. But did I have more calories than intended at the weekend? Yeah, but it was an active choice, and I decided that that was okay. And this is the thing when I think if you're not dieting for a thing, i.e. this for me is lifestyle, this isn't for a shoot, this isn't for a competition, this isn't for anything other than me, I think that is okay. because I don't think that makes me any less disciplined. I just decided that I wanted a glass of wine with my boyfriend on Sunday afternoon. That was it. That's as deep as it gets, and that's absolutely a-okay. I'm due on my period again. We're all sick of hearing about that. So the scales are not being particularly kind. I'm up a kilo at the minute from my lightest weight that I've seen, but that's okay. That to me, I go, okay, well, if it's only a kilo fluctuation and we're basically at D-Day and my stomach feels freaking huge and I feel watery and I feel really puffy, I look at that and go, do you know, if it's only a kilo up, then we might see something new. On the flip side, I'd like to get another 2 to 3 kilos off. I'd be really happy with 2. If I can get 2 kilos off from my lightest weight I've seen, then I will officially be the lightest I've been since 2021 with more muscle mass. So that would be cool. That would be quite a great comparison photo to see. Not my leanest, my lightest since probably 2015 is 71.9 kilos. Bang on, and I hit it like the day before Christmas Day. It was ridiculous. So we're not pushing to get down as low as 71.9. I'll share the number, fuck it. I'd like to be about 73 kilos. 73 would be great. As I say, when I stopped tracking, I moved out of kind of the fat loss space for good at the time in 2021 when I had a lot of work to do on my relationship with food. I was about 73 kilos. So if I can get back down to that with a better body composition and a much better relationship with food, then that to me will be like, nailed it. And I think I will go into the summer months feeling really pretty good. I did a little comparison post for my own self from last May to this May. And I was quite shocked at the visual difference. And I'm about 4 to 5 kilos lighter now. But the biggest thing for me is in what I'm doing. Like, I've spoken to you guys before, and it's absolutely no secret that I spent the back end of 2025 struggling quite a bit, poured a lot of time and energy into my business. I underwent most hormone tests at the doctors because I was exhausted all the time. And I really thought there was something wrong with me. Turns out it was just stress and anxiety and all of my own making. So it was one for me to fix. And this year so far, the last 6 months has been kind of about me getting some of that spark back. Like, I still probably some weeks work many, many hours, and I'm still probably more highly strung than the average person. And my Oura Ring definitely still tells me that I spend most of the day in a stressed or an engaged state. But I honestly, at this point, think that might be my natural like default setting. But I've become a lot better around boundaries, a lot better at actually putting my phone down of an evening. Well, actually, I leave it upstairs when I come down from work, like getting much better at finishing work at a decent time, not being on my phone, like not answering work messages of a weekend, because I was struggling. Energy was like shit, fatigue was high, anxiety was high. I think even like facially I look puffier, dare I say, I might have been cortisol moon face. So part of this year and like part of this diet phase was me being like, okay, I've got a bit of time and headspace back for it, so let's go have some fun. So that's where we're at. I guess we'll call this, where are we at? If week 7 was the diet break week 8, 9, probably week 9, but we'll call it around week 8. This is where we're at. I've got no progress photos to show you. I've got nothing exciting to show you from a training perspective. I'm in my final week of this current training cycle, but because I'm during my period, it's not exactly going very well. So we'll see in the week 9 update if there's anything more fun to update you on. But again, the reason I don't shy away necessarily from putting updates like this out is because this is the side of it that you don't often see. The repetition, the boring, the not really seeing anything change, but staying the course, doing it even when you don't want to, because that's what breaks you through that next plateau or that next weight barrier. And that is right where I'm at. That is all from me. Have a gorgeous week. Obviously, questions, queries, comments, post them below. Have a lovely one, and I'll be back with you next week.